everyone. Thank you so much for coming back to State Champs for another update in our Total Softball Player of the Year race. I'm Lauren Plant, joined as always by Donnie Dreyer. And Donnie, we are making a change this week. Before we get to that news, though, however, it's really great you had an opportunity to see a bunch of teams in one place. Tell me how it went.
Saw a bunch of good teams this past weekend and a lot of great dynamic duels. You know, we saw Howell, who's got Avery Wolverton, great pitcher, but they got a great hitter in Maddie Springer. They did very well. Dakota's got the dynamic duel of Megan Nectarline and Bree Bumbelow, another team that did really good out there. And another team that's got, I would say, not only a dynamic duel, maybe they got 3 kids, and that's Heartland. Probably the most impressive team I've seen was Heartland. You know, they have Everett, they have Zampa, Robeson, 3 really good, and then they got a second pitcher that complements Everett with a girl named Kylie Swerko. So Heartland looked to me like maybe the team to beat out there. Again, it was just one weekend, but maybe a team to beat. And then also Mercy, who did very well, and they've got another dynamic duel of Maggie Murphy and Grace Nito. So a lot of great talent. It was fun to get out there and see teams compete against really good teams.
All right. Well, speaking of Heartland, this is where our casualty comes in. But again, we want to stress that throughout the competition, especially this year, because we don't really have anything to measure from last high school season, is that players will drop off, but they will have opportunities to always play themselves back onto the list. So with reference to this week's top 10, Heartland's Rachel Everett, who we just alluded to, the fine pitcher who is having a great season, is coming out of our top 10 because you could no longer keep our new entrant off the list.
Yeah, no way you could keep Avery Wolverton off of what she's done so far. But again, Rachel Everett, I watched her this weekend. She was fantastic. She was lights out. But Wolverton has, like a lot of kids, put up great numbers, both pitching and hitting. So we're seeing those big numbers. But what was really impressive to me is she shut down one of the best offensive teams in Allen Park. Probably maybe the best hitting team in the state, and she shut them out 9-0. It was just really impressive. So not only is she cranking out the numbers, but that's part of that big game performance that we talked about. She had a big game performance, and she deserves to be on this list, and now she is.
So congratulations to Howell's Avery Wolverton. You are now in the top 10, and your fan base can now begin voting for her. So one of the things we always want to do is kind of update where the voting is at, and want to address a couple things if those of you have concerns, just because sometimes we see balloon votes, and we feel that somehow that may be nefarious in some way. It's not. Everything's, being done according to the rules and the plan. But Maggie Murphy has an excellent fan base out there. She's got over 20,000 votes. She is in first place right now. Megan Nectarline at about half that number, at just a little over 10,000. And then Kelsey Nader rounds up in third right now in the voting. So the best thing you can do is to get out there and vote. You go to our website, statechampsnetwork.com. What we do every week here at State Champs, a new show this year, State Champs Swingaway, and that is our podcast. And so I know that you've been getting some really fabulous reaction and response. People are listening. What are you guys getting into this week?
We're going to talk more about performances, a lot of shout-outs on great performances, but we're also going to put an emphasis on some of the teams and kids on the west side of the state, maybe less populated areas. So we're going to focus on that and give some people some much-due attention. So that's going to be the main focus on the Swingway, and we are going to touch on something called the USA High Performance Program, which is a way Michigan kids can get on the radar for Team USA.
Well, there you go. So obviously a lot of great information coming out every week. Donnie and Brian Chittister from College Bound Jocks, Jenna Rose kind of keeps it all together, ties it bind, and you can check out State Champs Swing Away wherever you get your podcasts. A great platform that I go and listen to all of our shows is at Spreaker, so Spreaker.com. You just search State Champs Network. All of the podcasts we're doing 3 here in the spring: the baseball extra innings, the softball swing away, and our lacrosse face-off podcast. So you can check those out and enjoy them. One thing before we go, we had done a story a couple of years ago on Sophie Varney. She was a player at Portage Central. She was fighting a terrible disease, DIPG, and at the time we had done the story, she had an opportunity as a freshman to come up and play with the varsity. They wanted to give, and she had a couple of hits when she played, so she earned her spot but it was really a great thing. It was a surprise. She did not know she was going to be getting into the second game, and she had an opportunity to play and just be one of the girls. And it was so they started a Sophie Strong campaign, and on May 1st, on Saturday, Portage Central was having another celebration of her life. Unfortunately, Sophie passed away in December, but the impact that she left on the program, we'll do a little write-up on it at statechampsnetwork.com that Matt Mowry will take care of, and then we'll have something from the ceremony and the game and some remembrance of Sophie and the impact she had at Portage Central. So again, great things that the softball community do when they rally together to help each other in times of adversity, and they want to celebrate Sophie in the way that she wants to be celebrated, and that would be on the softball diamond.
Yes.
So fantastic. So that is our update. Again, make sure you go to the website and vote, and we'll be back with another update next week.